Well, the April data is in, and we have seen our second straight month of a flattening average daily subsidy across the sector. Now, providers are turning attention to acquiring the necessary resources for the mandatory care minute change that takes effect this October 1st. Now, this change is only 6 months away, with the national average increasing to 215 minutes for direct care and 44 minutes as an average for RNs. So total claimant activity jumped again, up another half percentage point, achieving over 7.5% of total claims in Medicare being assessed by the AMOs last month alone. Now, the jump in total claiming was contributed mostly by improvements in the voluntary reclassifications, which the AMOs got to. The sector achieved 5% of all Medicare claims as voluntary reclassifications, marking one of the strongest months of performance as AMOs have delivered in their monthly reclassification work. Now, due to the growth in claimant activity, the age of ANAC claims experienced a significant decline of nearly 4%. Now, most of these reclassifications came from ANAC claims that were aged over 12 months, leading to the industry average dropping to 57% of all ANAC claims being 12 months in age since their last assigned outcome. Now, an emerging trend to keep an eye on is the growth percentage of the assessment reconsiderations. Now, as part of the new ANAC funding system, providers can appeal a reclassification determination by their AMO. Now, as the department publishes this data each quarter, the results from Q3 of FY24 show that reconsiderations are growing and are now achieving 8% of all claiming activities provided by the AMOs. Now, since the inception of ANAC on October 1st of 2022, there have been a total of nearly 11,000 reconsiderations applied. However, nearly 50% of them were lodged in the month of February alone. Now, the outcome of this material growth in appeals will conclude in the department enacting a reconsideration fee to the providers who are unsuccessful in their appeals. Now, since there has been excessive capacity in the total ANAC assessments, which AMOs are contracted to provide, the department have left this alone for the time being. Well, the occupied bed days for providers continues to rally, achieving further growth across March as the sector knocked up another 0.5 percentage growth point. Now, contributing to the overall occupancy performance, we saw short-term stays under 6 months in care drop by circa 2 percentage points. This is now in the lower band of the performance, which was in the 22% of all resident journeys. We typically see short-term stays fluctuate between the 23 to 25% mark. Therefore, this improvement helps support strong occupancy figures across the sector. And even with a slight slowing in new permanent and respite admissions this past month, it wasn't enough to offset the occupancy headline figures as less residents departed from care. In the profile of a resident admission is a slightly younger 85-year-old resident. We're now within 6 months of the workforce mandate around direct care minutes increasing to a national average of 215 minutes and RN care minutes rising to 44 minutes. Now, with that milestone ahead of us, the sector's case mix trends has been growing sideways for the last 2 months after peaking in January. March saw the sector finish at 204.76 minutes as a national average. Now remember, this figure is set by the demand side of all the ANAC classifications that are determined by your AMOs that reside within your facilities. From our actual workforce data sets, we can explore the supply side and how providers have matched this level in their worked rosters. Now, providers across the sector delivered a national average of 203.63 in direct care minutes, which was a shortfall of just over 1 minute per day from the mandated care time prescribed by the sector's ANAC claims. Now, RN minutes continue to perform slightly below the anticipated 40-minute industry average, and with October 1st on the horizon, bridging the RN gap to 44 minutes as a national average will continue to prove challenging.